The fourth characteristic that we're outlining here is that a change may be made at any time, and that God does make changes. So what happens with those changes? Well, some things continue, some things may end, and some new things added. There's three things that happen with the changes that go on. And it's important to just notice, it's not what we think. Okay? It's what God has revealed. That's the important point to get. He's revealed it in the Bible. We take the Bible for what it says. We believe what God says He's doing in making the changes. And since you didn't bring a sheep, or those of you who don't have much money, since you didn't capture a mourning dove and bring that in place of a sheep, that was an option in the Old Testament. Still shed blood, didn't it? The sacrifice of a turtle dove or a mourning dove. But you could bring that. Since you didn't do that, you're also testifying to the change that was made just between these two dispensations. Salvation is by grace through faith in God and His revelation through all history and every dispensation. We've already camped on this and explained it. And Ephesians 2, 8 and 9 give the testimony to this for today. By grace through faith. It's not that salvation was obtained differently in the Old Testament than it is now, but back then it was by faith in God, and it was based on His grace, not the merit of the believer. The rule of life is different from the principle of salvation, and we're going to see a rule of life that is distinctive in each of the dispensations. The standard. This rule of life is a standard to measure humanity's response to God and His revelation during a particular dispensation. In other words, if you believe what God teaches, then you are going to follow His principles to show that faith. We have it today in the church. We had it in the Old Testament. The Israelites showed their faith in God by obeying the law. Before that, there were responsibilities given to show and demonstrate that faith. That's why in the New Testament, when James is laying out some things for living, he points out that faith is demonstrated through works. And that's what we do today with following what the commandments of Christ are, to show that we trust Him and love Him. So we come down to three basic distinctives of dispensationalism. One is that there's a consistent, complete application of the plain, normal, literal, historical, grammatical interpretation principle. We just consistently follow the plain and normal method of interpreting the Bible in all its parts, including prophecy. Number two, out of this, we recognize that Israel and the church are separate, distinct groups in the plan of God. In fact, what we're going to find out through this is that out of each dispensation, God is going to bring out a group of believers that will have a distinctive testimony in all eternity to God's grace saving them through faith.